So, Lanterns episode 2 just dropped. I'm here to give my review of it, what I thought of the episode, and hopefully from now on for each episode and when I reviewed the season, I can have this shirt. I couldn't find it last week, and I found it this week, so hopefully you can do that. And I got a new Green Lantern ring, which is really cool. I really like this thing. Anyway, let's get into the episode. So, obviously, there will be spoilers for episode 1, and there will be spoilers for episode 2. That will continue for each episode. I'm just going over, kind of my thoughts on, everything that happens throughout the episode. So, if there's going to be spoilers, there's going to be spoilers. So, if you haven't seen it, go watch it and then come back. But, what I can say for it right now, we're only 2 episodes in. This show so far is really great. I love the way that they're able to keep it grounded while still making it feel like Green Lantern. Like in the first one, it's closely connected to Hal's origin, why they come to this place. And really none of the events that happen in the episode really need Hal to do anything cosmic and everything, which I think is cool. And then in this one, Hal's battery ring runs out of battery, so he needs to recharge it, and he doesn't have his lantern. So John, his whole thing for the episode is to go get the lantern. And I thought the way they do it is just really cool, where they're able to keep it where you can see all this cosmic stuff happening. But for the season that they're telling right now, cosmic. I mean, grounded, which I think is cool. And the writing overall in the show is just really good. All the different mysteries, all the different comic connections they're able to do. And I just think that the way they do it is just amazing. And even though, would it have been better if this show was probably less TVMA, because it's the Green Lanterns, which is basically DC, Star Wars, Star Trek, the galactic part, for everyone to be able to watch it and everything, would it have been better? Probably, but I'm loving it the way it is so far. And what I will say is that so far, for the DCU, Superman, I thought was an amazing movie. I love that movie. And then Supergirl, I know isn't a lot of people's favorite, but I liked it. It was just a fun superhero movie, and I love superheroes, so I'm usually a bit more forgiving on those. But on their TV side, Creature Commandos is a fun watch, but isn't really a show that I would say is great. And then Peacemaker Season 2, the back half especially is good. I wouldn't say it's anything terrific or anything, but the back half's good. The first half is just not the greatest. And as a whole, both seasons, but season 2, because it's in the DCU, I am not the biggest fan of Peacemaker. So I'm just happy that so far for Lanterns, it looks like we're gonna finally have a DCU show that I can say is actually a good one for me. And what I've learned about Peacemaker, Creature Commandos, James Gunn's Suicide Squad is that if you give James Gunn PG-13 restraints, he makes something great. PG-13, he's amazing. If you give him something that's rated R or TVMA, it's not going to be very good. But that's just me. But this episode splits John and Hal up, which I thought was kind of cool, just seeing them how they work by themselves. John goes to get the lantern while trying to keep his bird construct alive, but because he makes a bird when he's trying to fly, he makes a bird with the ring, and then he takes it off, hands it to Hal, and the bird's still there, and you can tell that's something that's not supposed to happen. So Hal gives him the instructions: just keep the bird alive till you get back. So he goes to get the lantern at Hal's house, which is a mansion, and they give him a reason, oh, I saved this rich guy's kid, and he gifted me this, which I thought was kind of cool. And then you get the first glimpse of the suit in the show, which in the trailers, it didn't look the greatest. In the show, it's not the best it could be, But I will admit, seeing it in action in this episode, even if it was like a little scene, sold me on the suit a lot. Like, I thought it looked pretty good. And I'm excited to see more of it in the show. And we've seen, like, behind this, we've seen leaks of it with the mask on, so that's probably going to be a flashback, but I'm going to be happy to see it with the mask on. And then you get the safe that Hal Jordan keeps the lantern in. The passcode is Mogul does not socialize or something like that. Mogul is actually the Green Lantern planet. You know, the Green Lantern, that's an actual planet, which I thought was a really cool, like, nod to Mogul. And I think Mogul's, like, cool. Like, it's not, like, a character, it's a planet. But, like, in Green Lantern, the animated series, it was really good. And then in Emerald Knights, the animated movie, it shows up, and it was fun. And then, obviously, he keeps the lantern in a pocket universe, which I don't know if that's comic accurate, but it's from something that happens in the Justice League cartoon. That's where the Green Lanterns keep their lanterns, in the Justice League cartoon. So I think it's kind of cool that they kept a pocket dimension. And the DCU so far seems to love its pocket dimensions. You got a pocket dimension in Superman. You got one in Peacemaker. Like, it seems like it's loving them so far. And then John gets kidnapped by I can't remember the character's name in the show, but the person that everyone is suspecting to be Atrocitus. And he kidnaps John, and is like, he basically gives you a lot of lore dump, where you get the first mention of the Manhunters, which is a big thing in Green Lantern comics, where the Guardians created them first to be their peacekeeping organization, and the Manhunters went rogue, and then they created the Green Lantern Corps. But in this, like, they're shapeshifters and everything. I think that's pretty cool. They think there's one in this Nebraska town. And obviously, just the way they're talking, they want vengeance and everything. Their wherever they live was destroyed by these things. It's very much like Atrocitus's and the Red Lantern's backstory. So that's probably why this show is called Lanterns instead of Green Lantern, is probably because it's going to be doing the Green Lanterns. It seems like it's doing the Red Lanterns. Obviously, Sinestro will probably get the Yellow Lanterns. And then we'll see if they do, like, the Blue Lanterns, the Pink Lanterns, aka the Star Sapphires. Probably not the orange ones, because I'm pretty sure that's only the one guy. Yeah, I think it's only the one guy. But, like, it's going to be cool in this season. And then they already started on season 2, I think. Just seeing, like, the lantern side, like, fleshed out. Because the lanterns, even though I haven't, like, read as much and everything, is probably, like, my favorite side of the DC universe. Obviously, Batman's my favorite character, and then Hal Jordan's, like, right there. I love the Bat family and everything, but, like, I think what's a lot more interesting, a Bat family or, like, the lanterns, like green, blue, red, orange, yellow, pink, like, all these different lanterns. I think that's more interesting to me. So, hopefully we get a universe that actually finally expands on them, kind of like the Green Lantern animated series was doing, and I love that show. And then Hal's story of the episode is my favorite part, just because I love Hal. But you get him doing some detective work, and he finds out that these metal detectors are actually alien detectors. He goes to this town meeting, and, like, the town's deserted and everyone's at this meeting. You get him going to Sheriff Kane, her stepfather's ranch again, kind of like questioning him. And he gets shot because he runs out of juice of the ring. And instead of, doing the smart thing and, I don't know, waiting for John to get back and recharging his ring, he goes with a powerless ring. So basically what I have, because I'm not a Green Lantern, he goes with basically this, and he ends up getting shot because he just keeps egging everyone on. But then you get some back story of him and Sinestro, and then you get Sheriff Kane dropping that she's from Gotham, which was really cool. The Gotham Batman side of the DCU right now is my biggest issue with it so far. I absolutely love Lanterns right now. I love Superman, Supergirl, I thought was really good. Peacemaker and Creature Commandos had their moments. And I would even say Creature Commandos isn't even a bad season. It's just not my favorite. Peacemaker Season 2, I would say, is kind of a bad season. But you get in Clayface, which I'm excited for, but not like super excited for. You're getting that Jimmy Olsen show with Gorilla Grodd that I actually am looking forward to. I think that show's just going to be fun. Mr. Miracle, which I'm actually getting more excited about. Yesterday, the news was released, apparently, like, we don't know if it's for sure this way, but Batman Brave and the Bold has kind of been put on the back burner because of the Paramount WB deal. That really ticks me off so far about the DCU. Batman should be your number one priority. Superman should have released, because Superman, I think, is a good starting point for it. Obviously, Creature Commandos was the starting point, but Superman, your next thing that you should like get on the fast track is Batman. Like, that should have been out before Supergirl, or at the most next year. But they're waiting for Matt Reeves' Batman, and like whatever, like, that's dumb. Like, you can have two different versions. People, I think, are at the point where they can differentiate. And if I had the choice to choose between the DCU Batman or the Matt Reeves grounded Batman, I would choose DCU. But I guess that's just me. I thought of Sheriff Kane being from Gotham, and that entered my head. But it was kind of cool because in the first episode, she's talking on the phone with someone, and she's like, "Say hello to Barb for me," or something. So that's probably Barbara Gordon. And then John has a moment with the grandma lady from last episode that he kind of had a thing with. It was a fine scene, but like, I don't really care about her character. She's probably a red herring for the whoever ends up being the Manhunter. She's like probably the red herring. Like, oh, you think she's gonna be the Manhunter? No, that's probably what she is. And then you get John bringing the lantern back to Hal. He also brought along the uniform, which was really cool. And then he basically questions Hal on the Manhunters. Hal's like, "How do you know about those?" And it seems Hal doesn't really know much about the Manhunters, but Hal kind of charges. He gets the lantern, puts his ring in there. He says the oath like really fast. He's like, "In brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's light beware my power, Green Lantern's light." Like, he speeds through it, which was kind of funny. I saw someone say like it's kind of like a kid on Thanksgiving trying to get through grace so that he can eat, and that was kind of a funny comparison. And then John goes to sleep in the hotel room, and then Hal suits up in the uniform, which, as I said, I think it looks really good. Like, is it the best it could have been? As I said, no, like, it could have looked more like this. I like the one from Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern movie. I know a lot of people don't. I really liked it. But he flies up, which the flying in the show, it looks really good so far. Like, it's just like seamless, and I think it's some of the best flying we've seen. It hasn't been that much, but like, just like the way it takes off and everything is some of like just really cool flying. He goes to Oa. I'm pretty sure it's Oa. Which Oa in this universe, like the way the prison looks and everything, like, I like it. It's not like how I usually picture Oa, but at the same time, like, it looks good. Like, I really like it. But he goes to the prison area and visits Sinestro, who I think Sinestro looks good. I do like the 2011 design more, played by Mark Strong. I'm pretty sure that's the actor. But this version is actually, he looks pretty good. And Hal is just like, Sinestro, tell me what you know about Manhunters. And so Sinestro's just like, no, hi, no, how are you doing? So Hal's like, hi, Sinestro, how are you doing? Tell me about Manhunters. And then Sinestro's like, well, if there were any Manhunters left, they would be your second biggest problem. So tell me about Jon Stewart. And it ends right there. A really good episode. I'm happy that even though it was only the last like 5 minutes with him in the costume and in space, I like how they didn't wait more than 2 episodes to introduce that stuff and just be like, hey, you know what, this stuff is gonna happen in the show and we'll get to it. I really like that, because it's like, I'm just happy that it, like, even though it wasn't that much and he'll probably be out of it by the next episode, I like how they actually show you Hal in costume, and I hope that we get a lot more of him in costume this season, because if he's actually dead from the ending of episode 1, then we're not going to get that much of Hal in the DCU, which will be sad, but hopefully we get a lot of him in the suit, and I'm just happy that, like, their stuff in space and everything, they're like, okay, we're going to give it some of it to you right now and just kind of show you that this will be happening. And another thing I did like about the episode is that it spent all of its time in the 2016 timeline, whereas in the first one started off in 1996, then 2016, and then the ending was 2026. This was all 2016. And the next episode is going to be Jon Stewart's origin. So we're probably going to be spending a lot of time in 1996. That one I'm not looking forward to as much, just because, like, I do like this version of Jon Stewart. I will say that this 2 episodes in has done a lot for me to like Jon Stewart a lot more than, like, in the Justice League cartoon or, like, any other version of Jon Stewart I've seen, especially the Beware My Power movie. I absolutely hate that movie. But that being said, I do want this season to focus a lot more on Hal, because if he's actually dead, then I would at least like a season that has him a lot. So I'm not looking forward to an episode that looks like he might not be in it as much. But I don't know how it's going to happen. I have to wait like a week, which sucks. But I'm really liking the show so far, and all the mysteries and everything it's setting up, the characters, and everything. And, like, as I said, like, my biggest issue with it, sorry about that pause, my biggest issue with it so far is that it's TVMA. And not only, it's not an issue that it's TVMA and, like, what they're doing it's just, like, for Green Lantern, like, I would have liked it to be somewhat, like, PG-13, so, like, more people could see it. But I can't lie and say that I don't love it so far. And the TVMA stuff is used great. Like, even, like, when they're swearing, like, the F word and everything, like, they do use it a good bit, but it feels seamless. Like, it feels like it's in the conversation and, like, it makes sense, unlike in, like, stuff like Peacemaker and Creature Commandos, where it seems like it's a kid who just found out what the word is and wants to say it as much as he can. Like, that's honestly how I can compare the two. Peacemaker seems like it's just like new word, and whereas this is like, okay, we're going to use it in sentences where it makes sense. But that's my thoughts on episode 2 of Lanterns. I did not expect to go almost 20 minutes. The last episode that I was like, I think 13-ish minutes, but I really like the Green Lantern, so the reviews will probably get longer. Next week, I can't guarantee a longer review because I might not be as interested in that episode, but we'll figure it out when we get there. I'm loving all, like, the lore and everything that they're introducing for, like, the Lanterns and everything, and I just really do like these versions of characters so much. I'm bought in. I really like them, and I would like to see where they go. So, tell me your thoughts on episode 2, and I'll see you next for some more DC talk. But that will be an animated movie by the name of Batman Nightfall. So, I'll see you in that one.